Hi, I've noticed in myself and in so many of my friends that despite doing all the abundance related work, all the work that basically propels them to think about money in a positive way, everything that you do about how to think about money in a positive way so that your inner abundance reflects the outer abundance, so that as a result of the way you think, your outer reality of money also changes. And yet people find themselves in spaces where their money thinking is compromised, right? When they want to think positive, but they still cannot think positively. For example, I get texts like, I have tried every single thing about manifestation. I have tried to do a lot of thought work wherein aligning my thoughts towards abundance. I'm still not getting clients. I'm still not having the money that I wish to. Or when you dig a little deeper, you understand that when they are thinking about money, they are already getting into the zone of desperation, even though they have worked enough on their money mindset. And what happens is when you pay bills, when you pay your electricity bills, when you go out to shop, or maybe you go to a restaurant and you have to pay bill, the thinking that goes in while paying it, that thinking becomes important because most of the time that thinking is a thinking of anxiety, that is the thinking of fear, that's the thinking of, oh, now I'm having to give this another 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, and I have less in my bank account. I have less money with me. And as a result of which the focus again keeps on going back to less and less and less, as a result of which there is even more desperation. So even though I want to think that I have all the money inside me, I have inner abundance, no matter what happens outside of me, I'm going to feel rich, right? I'm going to feel great about myself. I feel full. It's a difficult one to have when we are fighting with our circumstances of not having money, not seeing money, not getting clients, not having a conversion of a deal. People might reach out and you may not be able to close those deals, close those conversions. So it's important to first of all address that lack, right? To see that lack, witness that lack, and work on that lack. And that's why today's tapping is on this lack that we experience. Let's start. Even though I'm just not able to think beyond this lack, all the time, my focus is on the money that I don't have. It makes me feel really frustrated, sometimes desperate, sometimes truly anxious. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I keep thinking that I want money, that I desire money, and it still doesn't show up. No money comes, no client shows up. I don't get conversions. Things don't happen that I envision them to happen. And I feel even more lack. This lack where my focus is right now. This lack that I feel so deeply within me right now. And if you focus on the lack, just see where in the body do you feel this lack, right? For example, I could say, oh, I feel this lack in my belly, in the insides of my belly. This lack that I feel in my body, this feeling of not having enough inside my body, or maybe this feeling of I am not enough because I don't have enough money. This feeling of not having enough and not being enough. This feeling of not having enough and not being good enough. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my focus is only on the lack. Every time I think about the lack, I become really scared. I imagine, how am I going to spend the rest of the month? How will I pay the rest of the bills? How will I get the things that I want? How will the month go by? What if I don't get any clients anymore? What if no business picks up? My brain is filled with all the negative thoughts that I can ever think about. And this negative thinking puts me into a state of lack and fear. I'm so scared that I will not have enough in the future. I'm so scared about the future that absolutely is not promising. I just feel extremely scared about the future. What will happen if no money shows up? I'm just so scared. This fear inside my body, this fear that I feel, this great fear inside me, in my, wherever, check where in your body do you have, in my chest, in my belly, or enveloping me, where in the body is this fear? Ask yourself. This fear that I feel about the future. What if I never have anything? What if there's no money that shows up? I'm just so scared. I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this fear and this lack, and the more I look at the lack, the more there is fear. I wonder, what does this fear remind me of? So maybe you can ask yourself, wonder, what does this fear remind me of? If it's coming from somewhere in childhood, if it's coming from someone else's reality, if it's something that mom experienced, dad experienced, or maybe a friend experienced, right? And it's an important reality for us. That's why we are thinking about it, isn't it? Even though for some reason my body wants to hold on to this fear, even though this fear is so true and so strong for me, I'm just not able to let go of it. Even though a part of this fear may not be mine, somehow I'm still carrying it. This fear that I feel could be from my own life, somewhere in the past, which is no longer valid, which is no longer true, but I still seem to carry it. This fear that may not be mine to begin with, this fear that I feel in my body, right? I wonder, who does this belong to? This fear that I feel about the future, about not having money, about going through the worst circumstances. What if it was not mine to begin with? I still choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this fear in my body, even though this is the fear of the future, perhaps this fear, a part of it is not mine to begin with. This great fear that I experience could be from some part of my own life that is no longer valid. This fear that I experience, I wonder, who does it truly belong to? Suppose somehow I didn't have to carry this fear. Suppose somehow I had a choice to feel this fear, fully process it, and let go of it. Suppose somehow I had the power to think beyond this fear, to feel beyond this fear. Suppose somehow my body could also feel other feelings like happiness, like joy, like expansion. And suppose somehow all of those feelings and thoughts could manifest the money that I'm looking for. I am willing to let go of this fear and feel other feelings as well. I'm willing to witness and acknowledge this fear and feel other feelings that my body can feel, like joy, like happiness, like expansion. And I can feel just by my choice of feeling it. I don't need an external circumstance to make me feel like that. Suppose somehow my choice to feel what I want to feel was more powerful than my external circumstances motivation. Suppose somehow I could choose to feel abundant by choice. Suppose somehow I could make the decision of feeling rich inside by choice. Suppose somehow I could choose to feel joy just by my decision to feel joy. I'm willing to feel rich. If not anything, I'm willing to feel joy. Simply by breathing into my body, I sense expansion. I'm willing to feel that in my body and anchor it. I'm willing to feel a lot of joy. There are things in my life that I can think about and bring joy. I'm going to think about them and feel that joy. The more I think about these feelings, joy, happiness, and expansion, the more I am willing to believe that I can create those things outside my body in my physical reality. I am willing to feel love. I'm willing to feel excitement about life by sheer choice. I am willing to feel curiosity and wonder. Well, I don't have the money as of now, and I was feeling fear some time back. I wonder what else can I feel? I wonder what more can happen. What if I didn't have to focus on just one single thought? What if I didn't have to focus on one single feeling? I wonder what else can I focus on? What else can I think about? What else would my body like to feel and think about? Suppose somehow I could just ask my body, what would you like to feel? You're done with feeling fear. What exactly would you like to feel? What more would you like to feel? Suppose somehow I could just feel so much of joy in my body just by feeling it. I'm feeling it so much right now. My God, how did I get so lucky? How did I get so fucking lucky? Wow. There's so much of joy just by the choice of feeling joy. Wow. How did I get so lucky? My goodness, I can feel so much of joy inside of me. This is such a great feeling. I can just choose to love myself and I can love myself. I don't need anything from outside. I am worthy. I am so freaking worthy. I am so rich from inside. I can feel this richness of my life running through every single cell of my body. And I just feel so lucky right now. This is such an exhilarating feeling. There's so much of joy and excitement in life. Oh my God. Oh God, this is so great. I just feel so lucky. I love and accept myself. I so deeply and completely love and accept myself. I love and accept myself deeply and completely. And take a slow, deep, long breath now. And blow everything out. Thank you.